what's up, man? I bought Kunio. If I don't like it, I don't like it. Let's see. Let's see. Got a good weapon this time? Let's hope. That is trash. Ooh, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Well, that's definitely a good weapon. After image and crit damage. That is cream of the crop. And I got another one too. Oh wow. Well, that is an amazing start. That's most of the the build is done already. You see. Yeah. Just need healing on crit. That's gonna be next thing to try to get. But I'm not gonna bother re-rolling because I won't be able to afford it. Alright, let's move on. Actually, I should try to find the secret room, huh? I have that thing on that gives you... bosses can drop items. Christmas event. Alright, sure, let's do it. Bastard. Oh well. Two's not bad. Moving on. Just need crit lifesteal. That's what I need right now. Really make the damage pile up. Miss Quan here is a beast. I'm not gonna bother even looking at weapons anymore. Get bodied. Doesn't cost what? What are you asking? I mean, it costs money, yes. I don't quite understand what you're asking. You might need to reword that. What do you mean by cost when buying it? It's probably I paid like after markup was like 42 bucks. It'll probably be like $20 here. The markets are very different. Japanese people will still buy like pixel art shit, but Westerners are a lot less likely to. You know, if I like the game, I'll buy it again. I'm not averse to doing that. I've bought many games twice. You know, I've bought them in Japanese and then again in English, or on PC, or both in some cases. That part doesn't bother me. I had the money. I don't know how much I like Final Fantasy Remake. I mean, if people really want to see that, if people decide to support it, I'll do it. But more likely, I'll enjoy Kunio, even though there's a language barrier. And Christmas is coming up too. I mean, if I really want that game, I'm sure I can cough up the cash for it. Just not right now. Also, Epic Game Store does not accept. They don't have any kind of gift card. So that was the other thing too. I can't use any money I make from Kitty City to pay for that price. A lot of the other games I've bought, I have bought them with Kitty City money. I bought DMC 5 with Kitty City money, actually. Hey, cool, got some cash. Two after images? What? What? Are you serious here, game? Are you serious? Is this really happening? Wow. Just need some lifesteal now. This boss is gonna get bodied. I would be more willing to try it if they weren't charging $70 for it. That's way out of my impulse buy range. I don't know. It'll have awesome mods, I know it will, but that will be months down the line anyway, so it's whatever. I didn't really feel right, like, taking donations for it anyway, because I don't know if I like it, I always feel pressured sometimes. Kunio I bought for with my own money, so I don't feel pressured to play it if I don't like it, or it's buggy, or something's wrong with it, like, you know, I'll just chalk it up as a loss. I don't owe it to anybody to play it. Which is something that kind of happens when you ask for donations for games and stuff. Like, sometimes the games suck, and, you know, you feel like you have to play it because your community was nice enough to give you the money for it, and you kind of owe them. But it's not fun watching someone hate a game either, so I think the way I'm doing it now is probably wise. I need lifesteal, game. Give me lifesteal. What the hell is Atari VCS? I don't even know what that is. Let's see, what can I take off realistically? I'm gonna take this. No, I have no idea what that is. probably have no games. They always try that. It's like, there's no games for those things. It's just like crappy indie games. Not even good indie games. So no, I'm not interested. They tried that with the Intellivision. The new Intellivision that came out. There's like nothing but crappy indie games on it. Not gonna get any big budget games like on a niche platform like that. Be lucky to even get a game like this, which looks very low budget, but you know the gameplay is very good. Not saying that indie games are bad. I mean, I'm playing a small pixel art game right now. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is they have a really hard time getting people to make games for those. A couple companies have tried. The problem is always they can't get any software, which is the most important thing for a game console. There has to be stuff people want to play on it. If there's not, then it doesn't matter what advantages you offer over the big companies. There's no games for it. They're just not going to work. I don't know, next console I'll be getting is the Steam Deck. I'll be getting the Steam Deck. I'm not interested in anything else. The thing about the Steam Deck for me is I already have, like, hundreds of games on Steam, so I really don't have to spend anything besides, you know, cost of the machine. Every other console, it's like, you gotta rebuild that library from scratch. Whether the games are good or not, you gotta buy all that shit again. Whereas with the Steam Deck, it's already things I already have, so with my very low income, that makes more financial sense. No, the internet at my neighbor's house is not very good, so that's not an option. That's primarily where I'd be using it. You know, when I got the Switch, I had to build that library up from scratch. And I have a lot of games on there now, yes, but I had nothing. Not really looking forward to doing that again. That is what's nice about the new consoles. I will give the new consoles that. You know, it's pretty much just a straight upgrade, so. You don't really have to spend anything. You know, if you had games you didn't play, if you had a backlog from the old consoles or something like that, you can just play them and they load faster, they look better, and they run better. The Steam Deck for me, it's like, just would be nice because of the other job that I have. My kitty sitting and stuff. I'm the perfect demographic for it, pretty much. Somebody who has a job where, you know, they have time to play games and stuff. I think that's like the main market for it. Maybe young parents that game or something. You know, they don't have access to the computer, so their family's on it, that kind of thing. For me, it's just, you know, I'm over there every day for at least 3 or 4 hours, so I have time to do it. It's already games I already own too. I don't have to really spend anything upfront to use it. I already have access to all those games. I paid for them ages ago. Really, it's just the expense of, you know, an SD card for it and the machine itself. That's literally it. Nothing else to really gatekeep me. That's what I'm interested in. And we've seen it running quite a few demanding games too. I mean, the marketing for it's not that great because they keep like retweeting like games like this on there. And it's like, well, I mean, of course it could run this game. I mean, even the Switch could run this game flawlessly if they put effort into the port. Like, but they have shown some more demanding stuff running on it. The marketing's been hit or miss. It's like, okay, I love indie games, but, you know, I'm trying to, like, see if this thing can run anything that does not look like this game. Because, you know, I already have the Switch to run stuff like this. It's not where the demand is for most people, I would imagine. I don't have a jailbroken Switch. I do have a Switch that can be jailbroken, but I don't have anybody that can do it for me. No, I don't have anybody that can do it for me. And all I'd really want out of it is overclocking. That's all I really want. I've already bought like all the games I want on there, and I'm not interested in piracy at all. Obviously, because I work with game devs and stuff now. I can't be pirating stuff. That's not what I would want from it. Just like patches, you know, like translation patches and stuff. Overclocking for higher frame rates. That's all I'd really want out of it. So my phone can already emulate things pretty well. do pretty much everything up to PS2, except for like the demanding games. The emulation doesn't really interest me either. The phone can do that, and I can stream from the phone, which is even better. I know most people just want it for free games. You know, I get that Nintendo games are really expensive. I get why people want to do that, but you know, I make enough from this, despite how little it is, to you know fund my hobby for the most part. I don't really have a need to do that, and it's not something I could be doing anyway because I work with developers and stuff. For me, it would just be the frame rate patches mostly. So there's a lot of games on there that are exclusive. That's like the main thing that I would want. Well, the other problem is I have a launch switch. I have the launch model switch, the one that can be jailbroken, and that one has the worst battery, so... The thing pretty much has to be plugged in after, like, just a couple hours of casual play. It doesn't even last like my kitty sitting ship sometimes. That's kind of the other thing that makes me not terribly interested. It would be nice to have one, but I'm not really too upset over not having one right now. Biggest thing about the new Switch is the OLED one is like the screen is like not really the biggest upgrade in my opinion. The biggest upgrade is like the battery life's like I think it's like 50% more battery or something, which really adds up. I think going from the second Switch that they put out to the new one was like not that much of an upgrade, but from a launch one to the OLED one, it's actually pretty significant. Especially if you're somebody who uses it portable mode mostly. Like, the only time I ever hook up my Switch to the TV is when I'm recording. I'm doing stuff for the channel. Like, otherwise, it's always in portable mode. But I've watched some tests. The battery life upgrade is pretty significant. But the OLED Switch is useless unless you game in portable mode. That's the thing that's kind of dumb about it. Because if you only play in docks, the battery life doesn't matter. Like, you have to be somebody that's got a lifestyle where you're using it, like, away from home all the time. That's why I think it's still a pretty shitty upgrade, in my opinion, but it really depends on how you use it. Like, if you mostly play docked, then there's no reason to really upgrade from the first one, in my opinion. Especially since you have access to homebrew. Later. Alright, you guys want to see Ginzo or Peddler? Those are your choices. Ginzo or Peddler. I'd play the Viking, but he needs his upgrades. Ginzo or Peddler? You want weeb action, or do you want boxing? I'll let you guys decide. Peddler, alright. You got a deal. No, I don't have upgrades for her yet. Sorry. Alright, we'll play Peddler. Hey, buy a buff. What's up, Linda Woods? How you doing? Get the hell out of here. Booty call bots. Get out of here. They were really bothering me earlier, but I need to just have a different attitude towards them. They suck, they're really annoying, but you can have some fun with them, I guess. You know, there's actually some pretty good choices here. This one is not worth it. You know what, let's check the shop first. I'm leaning towards getting this one for the crit damage, or this one for the crit rate. They're both very, very competent choices. I hate damage over time in this game. Actually, I hate it in every game. Fuck. Annoying. Fuck poison. This ghost is so annoying. Just die. Should not have taken that trial. Not at the beginning of the game. Well, learning experience here. Die! Better get something good for this. Not worth the effort. Oh, I got some more health at least. That was kind of a bum deal. Oh well. Well, now I gotta knock this run out of the park. I have no revives left. That's not good. Can afford to do one reroll here, but I think I'm gonna go for that weapon. Oh, never mind. Alright. I think I can still grab that weapon, too. If this run dies, I'll play another one for you. Don't worry. It's my fault. I made a stupid decision. I paid the price. Definitely turn this around, though. Just need the right items. I don't think you can ever take that trial unless you have, you're farther in the game. Because they're gonna have so much health. I'm thinking I'll take this and then try to upgrade it. Let's see, what's his crit rate at now? He's at 20, so... Actually, some good choices here. You know, this has better crit damage. I think I'll take this one. Yeah, we'll take this one. And then try to infuse it. See if I can get something else on it. Probably not. Yep. Alright, well, good enough for now. Let's go. Not a bad start. I fucked up by taking that challenge, but I mean, that's no one's fault but mine. I'm still, like, learning what things do, despite how many times I've played this now. It's kind of what happens when you start playing roguelikes, is you don't always know what things do, and sometimes you make really dumb decisions. But as you learn, you kind of understand, like, what to take when, with what character and things. It's not a bad start. I just need to... I can't revive again, so... Make sure I don't make any other rash decisions. This run is kind of cursed anyway because the astrology thing buffs summons, which is not something I ever really spec in. I think the ranged characters are better with summons, I would imagine, because they're not like right up in the enemy space. So, but the melee characters, it seems, are largely useless unless you get like really lucky. So, I don't care if this run dies. Accept my fate if it dies, because it's totally on me if it does. thing about roguelikes is sometimes in real life when you make decisions, like, you don't always see the consequence right away, but in a roguelike, like, you almost always do. It's like within a couple minutes, you see, like, you know, I made this decision, I didn't think it through, and now the run's gonna die because of it, that kind of thing. No, the thing about this game is you're always moving forward. Like, this game has better gold sinks than a lot of other games, roguelikes I've played, where you max out the meta currency, like, so fast, and then it has no purpose. Skull definitely has that problem. Skull especially. That game you max out in like 10 hours or whatever, and then there's no use for it. This game pretty much gives you permanent buffs as long as you keep playing, so even if you botch a run because you make a stupid decision, like, you're still gaining progress. Yeah, I think that's one of the things that makes this game really well designed. I've definitely played a lot of roguelikes where they just don't have an idea of, like, how to keep you playing, make it feel like you still have stuff to find. With this game, it's like, you know, it's actually a lot like Diablo 3. You can basically just grind forever. I mean, obviously part of the reason that's there is because of the microtransactions, but it's $4 for 1,000 gems, so I don't think it's really that bad. I've seen people finish this game in like 10 minutes. They're getting like 150 gems every 10 minutes. That's 6 permanent buffs an hour. Oh, at that point, I didn't really even think you would need to spend money. Where's the secret room? I'm stumped. I don't know where it is. Oh, here it is. Let's grab some more of these. Well, this is a pretty good start. It's mostly just the fact that I don't have a revive. I don't have any health on crit. I don't have any lifesteal right now. That is the main thing I'm missing. Still got the rest of the game to try to grab it. Mostly just need some damage. Garbaggio. Don't want that. keep that. This can go. I'll take that for the attack speed. I actually don't want this item. That's not good with what I've got right now. I think that's good. Definitely some room for improvement there, but it'll work for now. I want this thing. Eat it. It's actually typical video game vehicle. Worse than being on foot. That's about what I figured. Probably some crazy ass build you can make with that too. This game has a lot of build diversity. This is all trash. We'll do one. What does it mean by that? I don't understand what that means exactly. Let me look that item up. I don't know what it means. The translation's a little bit strange. Tiger tusk. Oh, they're saying it's good. Alright, let's take it. Let's take it. See if this will help. Take this off. Put this on. Alright, let's go. Let's try it. I really need some lifesteal. That's what I'm needing right now. That's why I don't think this run will finish. Unless I get, like, a ridiculous amount of extra damage. The items I'm being given, it's just doesn't help. Alright, you need to give me some damage, dude. I know you're a clone of me, but you need to give me some damage. Not damage, but I need crit heal. That's what's really making me suffer right now, is not having that. That's alright, though. I didn't really get any orbs this run anyway, so... I think it's just the worst biome to get as a melee character. Just because everything's ranged, the boss spams projectiles. You have to get up close to hit stuff, so take a lot of collateral damage. You don't have any healing. What I'm gonna hope is that I find the secret room and it's got money in it, and then I go to the shop and they have crit heal. It's like the best possible outcome for this run, to see it to the end. I don't think that's gonna happen though. I think the boss is probably gonna be the end of this run, especially since I'm playing on hard mode. You need to give me crit on heal, you bastard. Yeah, I don't think this is gonna finish. Since I died at the beginning, I have no security. None. It's all my fault, because I decided to take that trial at the beginning. Let's try to find a secret room. Can't seem to find it. Not up here. Here we go. Yeah, that was the Hail Mary, pretty much. I was hoping that there would be money in there. It's just, drink materials. Yeah, this boss sucks. I don't like this boss. I haven't played that game in a while. I might start playing that again. We'll see. I'm kind of enjoying this more right now, to be completely honest. I'll probably start playing that again later this month, I think. I mean, this game isn't really a service game. It is in the sense that, you know, they update it and there's microtransactions, but, you know, there's no, like, fear of missing out shit, so... you can stop playing this at any time. The characters are always available, there's no gambling for them, there's no loot boxes. I could probably fit in another game if I wanted to. DFO is not that time-consuming. They did add that quality of life update. The grinding kind of makes me want to come back. But I'm having fun playing this right now. And I just bought Kunio today as well, so... And I think I'm good on new games. I'll re-roll once. One time. No. None of that is good. Alright, well this run is going to be like Rogue Legacy, where you die, but you pass on to your successors. I don't think this run's going to finish. I doubt it. I have no buffer at all. As long as I can make it to the bank, I can dump my money in there, and next run, I'll have better luck. Yeah. Still make a cool 100 gems off this, so it's not that bad. Barbarian from Diablo 3. Yep. Couldn't do anything. That run was doomed to fail. Surprised it got as far as it did. Alright. Get some hero fragments. I don't want to spend on this, because this is, it's like 99 cents for 10 of them. That's a really shitty deal, because it takes, like, at least 2 runs to get that much. You're better off getting these, because you can put these into other aspects of your character, or your account, actually. Yeah, I'll do that. Alright, I might actually play something else now. I don't want to get too burnt out. Do a Quan run, maybe. Yeah, I'm pretty excited for it. The test is tonight. Not tonight, but in a couple days. I need to make sure. I need to actually look up when that is. I don't know what time it's at. I might ask my neighbor to have off. Ask my neighbor to have off on, I think it's Friday. See if I can find that time really quick. So I'll be going over there in the afternoon. What time is that beta at? No, the KOF beta is at the same time too. Yeah, it's on Friday. Friday at 6. I think I'm gonna work on these for now, actually. 'Cause this is gonna make the runs a lot less frustrating. That run I got just complete poop. I had like nothing to work with. It's totally my fault that I lost. I don't want to sound like it's the game's fault, but it'd be nice to have a little bit more control. I think if you were to cash on this game, probably just like max this out. You have a lot more control. I'm nowhere near maxing this out though. That's kind of the problem. Closest I have is resource. That's not terribly useful, especially if you're a crit build player like I am. Let's take a break from this. Play that more later. Yeah, I gotta make sure I'm home for that DNF duel. I think I'll ask her for Friday off. They haven't said anything about that game's mechanics, which I find really weird. I'm curious, like, how that's gonna play out. Wonder if this went up on time. Great, my controller's not working. Great start. Oh wow, it actually is up. I'm shocked. Let's check this out. See if I can even stream this game. So that was the other reason why I gave up on it. I couldn't stream it. Now the game won't load. I love you and protect Game Guard. Never change. Load the game, please. Thank you.
I do hope you like this.
You have a login bonus. Please enjoy it.
Attention, all arcs defend. Please gather at the center.
for stopping by. Come by anytime, okay?
Welcome!
Don't tell me it's laggy now, because I'm aware it is. This game is always a lot laggier in town. This game is not... It's not entirely open world. It's not really clickbait that they say it is, but at the same time, when you're actually fighting stuff, you're actually out in the world. It's, what's it called?
See you later!
It's instanced. Like when I walk out of here, it'll be instanced. If it's laggy now, then that's totally to be expected. I want to see how it is when I get out of here.
Let's do this again.
So I guess there's a new area. It's like Power Rangers Command Center. Yeah, we're not watching the story.
It's an unforgettable. That's it. What do you think you're helping?
That command center is a lot worse than the Power Rangers one, that's for sure. This shit does not hold a candle to the Power Rangers command center. I feel bad for the people in this game. The game characters. Like, that's your command center? It looked like you could barely move in there. Like... Rewards for these sure got a lot worse than the original game. You got a lot better stuff. I don't even want to bother getting these. This is an open world, great. Look at how beautiful and empty it is. Instead of just making it instance like the old game. I would have fought like 100 enemies by now. Nope. You're gonna haul your ass over there. Through a lot of nothing. Great. I think this update actually does have some more instance content, so I think that they are doing what I predicted. They're realizing that this doesn't really add much of anything, but also really limits what they can do with in-game content too, because everything has to take place in the open world. We all know that open world stuff, you can't make really big set pieces when it has to be on the existing world that you already made. Grand Theft Auto has that problem. The Yakuza games get around it by making you load a separate instance, but like most open world games are like this. Like you don't have the ability to have like cool set pieces and stuff. That's one
If
thing
you'll
you really
excuse me.
lose. What's up, Radical? This game still runs like trash. About to uninstall this game. Still runs like shit. Just, come on, just let me go. Oh. This game sucks. Just giving it another chance. What have you done to my beautiful PSO2? You've killed it. You've made it suck. You've dumbed it down. I keep trying to give that game chances, but I just hate it. It's so slow-paced and boring. Why couldn't you just, like, update the old game still? I think I'm just gonna uninstall that game. I just get depressed playing it because it's such a downgrade from the old game. It really is in every way. I mean, there's some nice polished stuff about it. I'll give it that, but the actual gameplay is so much worse. I think I'm just gonna uninstall it here. I'll stream myself uninstalling it because I keep trying to give it a chance and I just don't like it. I'm just gonna uninstall it. Goodbye. He killed one of my favorite games of all time. Goodbye. Piece of shit. Give me my hard drive space back. It's still running poorly too, which like doesn't help things at all. Takes a long time to uninstall. Alright. Shitty game is gone. Gotta get up that hill, Harry. uh, sure sucks when something you're really passionate about turns out bad. It's never easy. I spent like $7 on that version of the game, so I don't have any attachment to it really. That's one thing that's nice when you don't like service games. It's like you didn't spend any money on it. You might have spent some time, but you didn't spend any money on it, so it's really easy to just let it go. A lot of things about service games is there's the whole like sunken cost fallacy. Like, I've been playing this game for 8 years, or I spent like a small fortune on it. So you keep playing even though it's like it's not what you want anymore. Like the game isn't really for you anymore because of changes they've made to like bring in new people or dumb the game down, which is both things New Genesis does. But when you don't spend any time or money on it, I mean, it's like it's really easy. You just let it go. I hope they make a PSO3 at some point. I think that game is it's a shitty replacement. That's why I've been liking Otherworld Legends. Because that game is what I liked about PSO2 pretty much. Obviously the combat's not as deep, obviously. I mean, a mobile game is not going to have that level of combat depth. At least not yet. We're probably a few years off from that, and even then they would have to like force you to use a controller to achieve that kind of depth. But it's just quick instance battles. There's lots of gear to collect. There's things to grind for. The game is fun for me to play. I don't get frustrated. Those are all things I really liked about the original PSO2. It's a little bit sad that I'm getting that experience from a pixel art mobile roguelike than something as big as PSO2 New Genesis. But that's just the reality of the situation. I've been having fun playing that game. I don't know, the open world just really takes me out of it. I don't like it. I could see myself coming back when they fix the performance and they add more instance content. I think I would like the game more if they did that and they fixed the combat. But I don't think all of those things will happen anytime soon, especially not in conjunction. Well, thing about PSO2 New Genesis is it's not just me. It's not just me that has that problem. A lot of people have been parroting the exact same complaints I have about it. Um, it's a little bit different from Tales of Arise, where it's like kind of a similar thing. They're trying to update the game and like make it look more modern so that they can attract new people, and they're trying to like make the combat more accessible. Um, the difference is that a lot of people like Arise, but a lot of people don't like New Genesis, which is kind of interesting because they're both trying to accomplish the same things. Like the old PSO2 and the old Tales games, they had very similar issues where it's like the combat was really good. If you value gameplay over graphics, the old Tales games and PSO2 were like, those games are great if you're playing the good ones anyway. But the graphics were like 10 years behind, and it was a really hard pill to swallow for like people that hadn't played a game like that before. This game looks like something I could play in the PS3, that kind of thing. And it was holding things back. Like, I get that. There has to be a graphical update at some point. I'm the kind of person, I'll play something that looks like shit if it's fun to play. Graphics aren't really a big like factor for me in terms of not giving something a chance. But I think Arise actually did a better job. They did still have some things. I mean, they even said with Arise, one of the things they avoided in development for that game was not making it an open world because they felt like it wouldn't be Tales. And we know for a fact they did not have the budget to make an attractive open world. It would have been devoid of anything. Which is exactly what New Genesis is like. It's just a vast expanse of nothing, and there's just so much dead space, and it really removes a lot of the excitement from the combat. So it's ironic that Arise made a lot of really controversial changes that you either liked or you disliked, depending on how long you've been playing the games. But I think Arise definitely did it better because they did not make it open world. Like, if you actually play through Arise, it's really obvious at the end they ran out of money. They had, like, no money to finish that game. It was either that or COVID. They're probably, like, 75 to 80% done with that game, but then COVID hit, and they're like, well, it's really hard to, like, make a game of that scale or that scope from home when you're working for, like, a big company like Bandai Namco. So, the end of that game, the production values and the polish, the pacing, it just takes a fat dump. So when you actually play through that game from start to finish, you realize that if they had made that game open world, it would have been way worse than it was. It was cool to see them say that. I don't agree with the changes they made to the battle system, but I definitely do agree that if they had made it open world, it would not have been Tales anymore. The game barely feels like Tales to begin with, but if I would have had to spend like 30 hours walking through nothing, I think that would have made the whole experience way worse. The problem with open world is there's a couple problems. The first is how much money it takes to make a good one. That's why it's pretty much like just the Rockstar games and like maybe some of the Ubisoft games are like the only ones that really have like a lot of things laid out to like justify the size. But like when you're a smaller Japanese company and you don't have anywhere near that much money, it's just a death sentence in my opinion. You're not going to be able to deliver an open world of that quality. Even though, your combat is going to be anything better than anything Rockstar or Ubisoft can do. Just the fact that it's open world is going to make the fact that your combat is better. It's not going to stand out as much. The other thing is the inability to have set pieces when you're in an open world. I was talking about this just before you came in. That's a problem like those Ubisoft games and stuff have. The Rockstar games too is like, you have to. The set pieces have to be on the open world, which takes a lot of the spectacle away. It's like, okay, well, I've driven through this road, or I've been at this warehouse like 800 times, but like now the big crime boss is there, or the big assassin is there, or whatever. It doesn't feel as organic as like actually loading into an area, which is something that the Yakuza games have done really well. Like the newer Yakuza games from the past couple years, they have the new engine where there's barely any loading zones, but they still do loading zone transitions for the set pieces because it's not possible for them to make good set pieces when it's out in the open world. And I definitely think that's one thing that is objectively really bad about New Genesis. The set pieces for the emergency quests in the old game were really awesome. Even after like the 100th time you've done them. Just the way that everything looked, the atmosphere, how packed everything was, the music and everything. You can't do that when you just have an open world. It's just not possible. because, you know, you just have a big empty expanse of grass. Like, that's not a set piece. It's just dumping a bunch of enemies in a, you know, an open space. I definitely think that's something they'll have to address at some point. Because right now the emergency quests in that game are literally just that. Let's just dump a giant monster in a vast open space, and it has nowhere near the intensity of the old game. But yeah, it's trying to do something and not having the money for it. I mean, I can relate to that for sure. But I think at some point when you're making video games professionally, you have to realize that like some things are outside of your capabilities. And like pretty much no Japanese company has the money to do that outside of like From Software. You know, Elden Ring is not the kind of game I would like, but I have faith that they'll be able to make a pretty good open world, and it won't be you know, just empty. I could be wrong, of course. I don't know, but they have the backing to do it. But every other Japanese company, it's just not going to happen, plain and simple. They don't have the resources. I honestly don't know why they keep trying. I think the fact that they did not do that with Arise is part of the reason why it was so successful. A lot of the other things they did in that game regarding the combat, I hated, but it's still, at least like going through the world and stuff, it still felt like a Tales game. Like they didn't take that away at least. But yeah, it's a risk. You might get some zoomers and some game reviewers on top of it, but you run the risk of alienating everybody who's like actually been there for you the entire time, which is kind of what's happening with New Genesis. As I've been with that game since the beginning, way back, like 2011, back like 10 years ago. You know, ironically, the Dynasty Warriors 9 open world is better than a lot of the other attempts to do that, just because there's a fast travel point like every 10 seconds. So, at the beginning of the game, yes, you're forced to interact with it, but as you get farther, you don't have to interact with it at all. Like, if I load that game up right now, I could get anywhere in the world. I could get within, like, 5 to 10 seconds of travel time. I think that's one thing that game did really well. A lot of the other open world games don't do that. They force you to interact with it. But that game does not. You just kind of zip across the map. Also, the horse goes at, like race car speeds. That horse has like a NASCAR engine in it. How fast you go is crazy. Dynasty Warriors 9's open world is definitely devoid of stuff to do as well. It does suffer from that open world problem as well, where they couldn't really do good set pieces because everything has to take place on the open world. That game definitely has that problem too. There's really only a couple battles in that game that actually feel like an actual Dynasty Warriors battle, and that's just because it's on the open world. They're not able to load an instance, so a good example is when you load up that game and it wants you to take over a town, or like liberate it or whatever, but the town is like, you can walk through it in like, you know, 40 seconds or whatever. Like, it's not possible for anybody to actually live there, right? You go inside and there's a bunch of merchant stands, but there's no living quarters for anybody. It really takes you out of it, whereas in the old games, since everything was instance, they could actually make it so that you were like going through a town or you were going through a castle you actually getting farther into the castle and finding the commander and stuff. Those are things you can't do when the game is open world. A lot of people don't realize that either. Like, there's a legit disadvantage to trying to make that kind of game open world. That's why the Yakuza games, they've changed a lot of that. Like, you don't have to go to a loading zone for, like, every door you open, but they still do that for set pieces. Because they wouldn't have any impact if they did.
Alright, not so fast! Party time! Oh,
And they realize they can't have, like, an emotional final battle, like, in front of the restaurant, you know? You've been out there, like, 800 times. It doesn't make sense for the big Yakuza boss to be, like, standing in front of a random warehouse. Like, they have to load, like, another instance to give it any kind of impact.
alright! Not so fast! Okay. That was a good one. Party time! Oh, relax. Too easy! Not so fast! Party time! Okay. That was a good one.
A lot of that comes from how old the franchises are. That's the short answer. They feel pressure to make the same game over and over. People complain about it, but then change has to be gradual. You can't change everything right away. When you change everything right away, it's very, very common for not everything to really come out the same quality. Like, they've been doing that with Kirby for ages. They never really have stayed stuck to their guns with Kirby. They've made, like, tons of different Kirby games, but in my opinion, the Kirby games were best when they were fast-paced side-scrollers. And when they started making them slower-paced and 3D and having, like, gimmicky gameplay, is like, it stopped being for me. And, you know, other people enjoy it. That's fine. But for me, as an old dude who grew up with those games, like, I don't like the direction they went, but there's a lot of pressure to do that with video games in general, and not just keep pumping out the same thing, which is ironic because Call of Duty and Madden and FIFA do that every year. They regurgitate the exact same game. Assassin's Creed as well, like, the same game every year. Far Cry is another one, and people still eat it up. But for some reason, they feel like they need to ignore the working formula.
Oh, hell yeah!
Yeah, that game looks boring. I'm not gonna lie. It looks really boring. It looks like it moves at like a glacial pace. Like I have zero interest in playing that. I'd rather go back and play like the old 2D Kirby games I never played than play that. that game.
Party time! Okay.
I don't know, Kirby's pulled it off more than, like,
Hell yeah!
you can say Sonic has. They've tried that kind of design philosophy with Sonic as well. But, like, every time they try to get away from just move faster than, like, actually pre-made level, it doesn't work. They keep trying to make, like, Sonic more than just that, but the reality is they suck at doing anything else. Not that people don't want innovation, it's just that they've proven countless times they're not capable of really doing that. The new Sonic being open world is like, feels like nothing is sacred. How are you gonna make Sonic open world?
Hell yeah! Party time!
Oh, that's the thing. The fan games are what people want. Like,
Okay. That was a good
I
one.
don't think people are like averse to like Sonic being something different. It's just that every time they try to do that, it doesn't work. You know, they tried that for Sonic Unleashed.
Too easy!
What was the main complaint with Sonic Unleashed? Besides technical stuff like the frame rate. It was the Werehog stuff that played like a really shitty version of this. No one wanted that. But they shove it down your throat. You can't pull that back.
Not so fast!
That's what everyone hated about that game.
Party time!
Like, now that game on Xbox Series X, S or X, it has like 120 FPS gameplay or something crazy like that.
Too easy!
But that doesn't fix the Werehog parts. You gotta interact with that shit every time you play it. And you can't even, like, it's not even, like, judging it by modern standards either, which is the problem. Like, DMC4 came out the same year as that. Sonic Unleashed.
Not so fast! Party time!
It's not even an aspect of like,
Okay,
you know, you could just play this
That
instead.
was
It's
a
like,
good
no,
one.
back then you had DMC4 as well. Like, if you actually liked the Werehog stuff, like, you could just play DMC4. Came out the same year. On the same platform, you had like no excuse.
Too easy! Not so fast! Hell yeah! Too easy! Party time! Okay. That was a good one. Not so fast!
The game's got really laggy for some reason. It's weird. See if I can fix that.
Okay. That was a good one.
Why is it laggy? I haven't really played a Sonic game since Generations. I never even finished Mania, so I'm not really the person to discuss this topic. But I don't know. The only thing that would make Sonic open world work is the fact that he is a fast character. But then the problem with that is that it's going to be on PS4 and Switch. So think about how much that's going to hold the game back. The fact that it's on Switch doesn't really give me a lot of confidence. I mean, on one hand, maybe there's something they know where it's going to be on like a new version of the Switch or something, but the fact that it's on last gen consoles doesn't do it any favors. Because the thing that basically insinuates is that they're going to have a lot of dead space just to stream things off the disc or off the hard drive. Like, if you're going to have Sonic in an open world, that comes with the expectation that you're not going to be like, you know, CJ from Grand Theft Auto. You're going to be traversing through things fast. And I feel like having that game on last gen consoles really holds that whole concept back a lot. Because we've seen how consoles can barely handle open world games as it is. But now you're making an open world game with a video game protagonist who's like, his whole gimmick is he goes through things fast. He moves fast. I just don't see how that's going to work. Even if it does turn out to be a good game somehow, the fact that it has to be developed with last-gen consoles in mind, I think holds it back. Any chance it has of being good, I think, are really, really held back by that. Because they've proven, like, if that game was current-gen exclusive, I think it actually could have some potential. If they made an open world that was like, it was like big enough to like let you move around and have like good applications for movement and stuff, but then like not so empty like most open world games where you're just going through a bunch of nothing, it could have some potential. But you know, it's got to run on 8-year-old hardware, so that really limits what can be done, like, massively. It's one thing when you do something like DMC5, you know, like, that's a character action game. Like, you know, if they put out a DMC6, like, it wouldn't be that big a deal if it was still on last gen, because, you know, you're loading into an instance, You're loading into an instance and you're fighting enemies. Like, even the old platforms can handle that. Open world Sonic, it just sounds like such an oxymoron to me. I don't know how they can possibly pull that off. It feels like an impossible task. I think it's a stupid idea. Ironically, I think that would be a better demonstration of what the new consoles can do than a lot of the stuff that's currently on there right now. A Sonic game, current gen and PC exclusive, like with the fast load times and everything, like they could make amazing open worlds with that, and I could actually envision it being fun. Uh, as long as the open world is not too big, and there's lots of things to do in it, which in the Sonic game would basically mean like lots of things to jump off of and have like a lot of applications for the movement and stuff. But it's got to run on the old ass PS4 and Xbox, so like all that all that potential goes out the window pretty much, if you ask me. Now, this game doesn't want to work right now. Yeah. I don't know, it just feels like a disaster in the making. It's what it feels like to me. I really think Sonic is a franchise that would be better off in the fans' hands. Just accept that you suck at making the games now. The talent is long gone. It's not even the fact that there's no originality. It's like people don't even want originality with Sonic anymore. They want the stuff that works, because every time they try to deviate from just going fast, it doesn't work. Originality is not what people want. They just want consistency. And I feel like the fans can deliver that a lot better. I mean, I guess you could say the same thing about like the other game franchises that just put out the same thing every year, like Call of Duty, FIFA, Madden. Like, people just want the quality to be consistent. Like, they're not really looking for innovation. And Call of Duty has that kind of same problem too. They've tried to like get away from just just a bald marine with an AK-47, but then people don't want that for some reason. As an outsider, I don't understand why, but when people don't want that, they keep trying because they're under pressure to not put out the same game every year too. Yeah. I don't know, when your franchise has been around for 30 years, there's obviously going to be like a pressure to reinvent. It's just Mario has done that way better than Sonic. You know, they've changed Mario a lot over the years. The difference with Mario is that they still put out 2D games occasionally, and when they do try something new, it tends to work more often than not. Sonic, on the other hand, has tried the same thing, but they haven't had anywhere near the success rate. Now, Mario Odyssey was a good game. I think the gimmicks were stupid, and the game wasn't worth playing past the credits. But I enjoyed it for what it was. It's just the gimmick wasn't very interesting. It was very one-dimensional. There wasn't really a lot to it. It didn't really add anything to the gameplay. It just felt like a puzzle solver, which is there's a lot of games like that. But you know, the game was still consistent quality. It was still worth playing. It's just like once you started trying to get all the extra moons and stuff, the game kind of fell apart, in my opinion, because there was no equivalent challenge for getting all that stuff. It's like one moon would want you to go through this hellish platforming challenge, and then the other one is butt stomp on a random area on the street, and there's like 900 of them. Like, that was dumb. But you know, the beauty of video games is you don't have to always play them all the way to the end. Like that game, I bought it for like $45 or whatever. I played through to the ending. It was fun. I liked it. It's just the other stuff they added, the gimmicks and stuff, didn't really it didn't add anything to the experience. I actually think collecting stuff in Mario games is worse than Metroid. At least in Metroid, it's like the challenges are fun and mostly consistent. Mario Odyssey kind of went to collectathon territory with like 900 of them, and like maybe like a fourth or fifth of those were like actually engaging challenges, but it just didn't feel like there was really a reason to get them. But in terms of like trying to change shit and reinvent it and like still deliver a good game, the Mario's definitely done a lot better than Sonic. That's for sure. The guys at Nintendo have much more consistent quality control, I think. Like they'll shove the gimmicks down your throat, but like the game as itself is like it's still fun, it still functions, and usually interacting with the gimmick is usually not that forced. Like going from start to finish in Odyssey, I played that game off stream. I did not play that game on the channel at all, as I didn't think anybody would care to watch me play it. Like it wasn't a problem there at all. I had no issue with it. It's just once you started trying to do all that other stuff, it started to really fall apart. Collectathons just have that problem, though. There's too much stuff to collect, and none of it really does anything. It's just there. And then you have the problem of like, well, if you get one every time you do this stupid task, like how do you balance it out? Because it's like you can't have people like just jump on blocks or butt stomp, areas on the ground 900 times. There has to be more of a challenge to it than that. But then the challenge feels pointless because you're doing something really hard for the same reward that doesn't do anything for you. That was kind of the problem Mario Odyssey had, in my opinion. I feel that's like the real reason that collectathons died. It doesn't have anything to do with like, you know, the people not wanting the games anymore. People really liked Mario Odyssey. It's just, it's hard to balance having like 800 useless trinkets that don't do anything. That's the real thing that's the problem. I really like that about Tian Ding. That was one of the best things about that game, is that one of the best things about that game, is that the collectibles weren't just useless. They actually gave you a lot of really cool buffs. And I really like that. Yeah, I haven't played Hat in Time yet. I want to play that at some point. I have that game, I just haven't even booted it up yet. Maybe that Sonic game actually isn't open world. I hope for their sake it's not. I don't know how the hell they expect that to run on the Switch. I question how they're gonna do an open world Sonic game on the Switch at like 20 FPS, but seems like that's what they're doing. It's just as mind-boggling to me. Why would you even bother trying to do that?
土産話はあるのだろうな。
Need some Nobuyuki Hiyama to end the night. So I gotta be up for Kunio in the morning. Hey! Thank God. Glad they just have a Nobuyuki Hiyama character in this game. Modding scene for Hat in Time is pretty big, huh? I have to... Maybe that'll be a backlog game at some point. I forgot I modded my gear on this. Like what the best possible drops would be on console. Because I'm sure you guys watch me play this. Oh, good night, Radical. Yeah, I'm not gonna be on much longer. Get some rest, dude. Thanks for hanging out. I'm gonna be going to bed soon myself. Nice talking to you. They updated this game again, so I wanted to see if the mod still worked. Get sniped. A little bit rusty at this game. Just a little bit. I never really got to 750 on console, so I think I should probably do that. Just for fun. These guys are shotguns. Feudal Japan shotguns is what they are. Gotta take them out before they're able to get that off. Might just reset this, honestly. How's this guy still alive? Jeez. I can't get hit by any of that. Let's go back and try this again. Actually, I can try it one more time. I'm salty now. Those damn Caracassas. Really, I don't remember how to fight them. I haven't played this in a while. They're so annoying. One of the worst enemies in this game. These fuckers. course. Making Caracosta. Such an asshole. Just a straight, just dickwad enemy. Kind of feel bad for the gunners in this game because they're not as good as the Umbrella. The Umbrella is a better shotgun than anybody else in this game. Especially if you're right next to them. Get hit by all of it at once. You're done. Course. Course. Fucking shotgun. I'm determined to finish this now. Doesn't help that I haven't played the game in months, but fucking Umbrella is so annoying. Come on, Nobuyuki Hiyama, you can do it. Scream louder. course, there gotta be someone shooting. Always. Fuck you. Damn it. Got it. Played this in ages. GG. Alright, let me try one more thing actually, and then I'm gonna go night-night. So try the Kunio game in the morning. Let me see if the... what's it called? The mod you can use to have all the moves at once instead of having to change them. I want to see if that still works. I doubt that it does. In the event that it doesn't, I probably won't go back and play this game again, but we'll check. Let's see. They keep fucking updating this game. It breaks all the mods. It's legit annoying. Like, dude, you're not adding more content to this game. You guys are working on Eminem's Adventure, Final Fantasy Origins. Like, just stop updating this game. Let us mod it. I don't think it works anymore. That's a buzzkill. Yeah. Well, that's a bummer. I made some gear and try to play the game with different weapons, but nope. They have to keep updating this game every 5 seconds, even though they haven't added content to it in like 8 months. So annoying. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the morning for Kunio. Language barrier is going to be pretty rough, but we'll give it a shot. Final Fantasy Remake. I'll try to get the funds for that, but I think it's going to be like $70, so I don't know if I would feel comfortable taking donations for it either, so there's a really high chance I won't like it. I've already seen the story and everything, so like that's not the issue. It's just I don't know if it's a game for me. It looks cool. I know the gameplay mods for it are going to be really awesome, but it's not impulse buy price. Well, we'll figure that out as we get there. I might bum some cash off a friend or something, or I'll use Christmas money. But yeah, I did get Kunio, so I will be doing that. Thanks for watching. Good night.